I found out the other day that Porsche is actually pronounced Porsche. And I wanted to do a video on this because the way that this came up, one of my good friends, recently he got a new car and he got a Porsche, and he called it a Porsche. And I didn't have the heart to tell him. I was like, it's Porsche. Like, if you're going to drive a Porsche, like, you should know how to, like, what to call it. And I was with my best girlfriend the other day and I was telling her about him and it was almost kind of like, scoffing. Like, he called it Porsche. Like, that's so silly. And she was like, you know what, though? I've heard it quite a bit. I think that it might be actually what it's called. And I'm like, can you Google it? Because I'm also someone that I actually do like to know when I'm wrong. So I'm like, can you Google it, as I was driving in my Mazda? And it actually came up on Google as a SERP saying there was so much misunderstanding around the brand that they actually had to put it on the website that the brand is actually Porsche. And when we were driving to my friend's house, and we got to her house, and she has a big, beautiful home. She lives a luxury life, and she actually drives a Porsche Cayenne. And I said, I'm like, girl, you got to know this. I'm floored. I just found out this in the car. So I said, I'm like, did you know that it's Porsche instead of Porsche? And she goes, you know what? I think that's the guy at the dealership. When he said Porsche, I thought that he was an idiot. But you're right. I actually think the name is Porsche. And I'm like, well, what do you call it? And she goes, it's my Porsche. And I'm like, this is, I think, a major brand problem for Porsche. And you know what she said, actually, in addition to that? She goes, I would never call it Porsche. That to me is douchey. And this is, I think, a call to Porsche that they need to actually do something with their marketing and branding, or Porsche. I feel douchey saying Porsche, even though that's the name of the brand. Like, I think that there's been so much confusion around it. It's their fault because Hermes doesn't seem to have the same issue.
Don't you mean Hermes?
I mean, I think that people maybe get it wrong maybe the first time, but it's something that there's enough people that know what it's called. Like Porsche to Porsche, I think that is pretty grossly misunderstood. But it's, I mean, obviously I'm the one that's wrong. But as I've been speaking to people about this week, and I wanted to do a video on it, so all the listeners, did you guys know that it was Porsche? But that to me is a branding problem within the brand that they really need to invest in fixing, and it not just be a tagline on the website. Do a full campaign on this.
No, like, they should do a
drive
campaign
into it
to make it cool to say Porsche, not
like,
douchey. And if your drivers don't really know that, you're not really communicating them.
The drivers of their car think it's douchey to say the brand name correctly. Like, that also
maybe there's something cool about it, because I called my running shoes Nike for a long time and argued with people who call me
so you know Nike. What? Yeah, but you know what? It's funny is so that's when I was with Taylor, and that's what Taylor brought up. She goes, that's like when people call Nike and Nike, and I used your line of like, it's not bikey, like it's bike. I'm like, that to me makes sense. Porsche doesn't end in an A. Yeah. Like, it's in an E. No. So it's like it. Come on.
No, but so can you just arbitrarily change the pronunciation of your name?
I think that there's a major marketing opportunity here for Porsche and Porsche. I also just wanted everybody to laugh at me. Maybe I'm just the idiot, but chime in. If you're also confused by this, let me know.
At least I'll get BMW right.
BMW get right.
See you later.